Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain.
I'm not familiar precisely with exactly what I said, but I stand by what I said, whatever it was.
For purple mountains' majesty, above the fruited plains.
He's been consistent since he changed his mind.
America, America.
I stand by my statement, and I misspoke, and I apologize.
God shed his grace on thee,
I'm not a witch.
and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
I'm not familiar precisely with exactly what I said, but I stand by what I said, whatever it was.
Whoa!
Nothing in this world could ever separate us from this love that we are. We're all made of the same stuff everywhere, from Mother Earth to the stars. Ooh, we swim in this ocean. We all share the air that we breathe. The only thing that separates us is what we've been taught to believe. But don't you be deceived. Oh yeah, we are one. We are one. We are one.
America's possibilities are limitless, for we possess all the qualities that this world without boundaries demands. Youth and drive, diversity and openness, an endless capacity for risk, and a gift for reinvention. My fellow Americans, we are made for this moment, and we will seize it so long as we seize it together.
See it in the eyes, feel it in the touch of a stranger's hand.
Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk About It, y'all. Come on in, get yourself seated. Thank you very much. We appreciate the cheers. We are ready to go. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, coming to you live from the city beautiful Orlando, Florida, where it is 73 degrees and light rain, a little thunder, a little clouds. And joining me to talk about it and always helping me to keep you informed is the beautiful, the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. Jackie, are you there?
I am here.
Woo! And the monkeys and the crowd appreciate you and welcome you, my darling. Oh, we are ready to talk about it. We are Spreaker's U-Boys 2012. We won that award for the most informative. That's because we keep you informed. Didn't I just tell you that? Yes, indeed. Okay, and singing our theme song, We Are One, my very good friend, sidekick to the great Jerry Butler, Miss Brenda Lee Ager. Thank you, Brenda, for writing, producing, and singing that thing right there. Okay, so we're ready to talk about it, y'all. Let's get to the subject that I have nothing to do with. And the subject for tonight's show is, and the shit just keeps on coming. Jackie, you got too much time on your hands.
I do. And, and I have had, there has been a theme over these last three shows.
Yes, it has.
True.
And it's all about shit.
I know. Our shows have been about turdology. Yeah.
Turdology. I love it. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Okay, Jackie. So, let me get my rant out the way so that we can talk about the more serious things, okay?
Okay.
All right. And so my rant tonight has to do with, well, of course, the Republicans.
That's what we like to do.
That's what we like to rant about, the Republicans. Now, of course, we have had some serious things happen in the country in the last 2 days, and that has been the Oklahoma tornadoes, which we will be talking about here shortly. This monster of a tornado, F4, F5, 200 miles per hour, that hit Moore, Oklahoma yesterday. Now, the governor, bless her heart, a Republican, what's her name? Fallon?
Mary Fallon. Yes.
Fallon is how she pronounces it. Mary Fallon. You know, as Jackie says, that is the reddest state in the union.
Yes, it is.
And, you know, the Republicans were just hating on New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
When the floods hit them, the storms hit them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, devastation like you've never known. What did they estimate, Jackie? 60 billion?
Well, that's just what the government was paying, but
yeah,
the damage of the storm was more than that.
The damage of the storm was over 60 billion. Thank you, Jackie.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the Republicans were just hating on that and the fact that Christie treated the president with respect and thanked him for coming there, seeing this damage, you know, touring the devastation, the devastated areas with him. They just thought, "Rrr." Well, now the governor of Oklahoma and the Republican Party in Washington and Oklahoma, they see things a little bit different, don't they, Jackie?
Maybe just a snitch.
Just a snitch, just a tad different.
Mm-hmm.
I just listened to Governor Mary Fallon as she was thanking the governor and talking about
thanking the president.
Thanking the president. Thank you, Jackie. And talking about how they were going to tap their rainy day fund there in Oklahoma, and that would match the federal funds that they so desperately need.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same federal pot that Christie was asking for money out of.
Yes.
And that the state of New Jersey and Governor Christie and their people, they put in a whole lot more money in the pot than they would ever get out.
Yes, well, one of the points that I like to make all the time is that these red states are more dependent on federal aid than the blue states.
Yeah, that means they poor as shit.
So if you live in a blue state, you are subsidizing
the red states.
That was very nice, Brenda, because I was about to say something.
I want to hear what you were going to say.
No. I'm not
you said thank you because I saved you from saying something that might have been just intolerable.
Well, it would have been pretty spicy.
Well, that's
my point is that the people who complain the most about government are those who are most dependent upon it.
This is kind of in the category, Jackie, with the same people who can't read and spell.
Yes.
But do all the complaining about education and cutting it, want to cut it.
Yes. Well, you know,
it's something kind of like that.
You know, their thing is being poorly educated hasn't hurt me. Perhaps it hasn't hurt you, but it certainly hurts the rest of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
You may not be a dummy,
yes.
but your ass is ignorant as hell.
Yes.
So let me give you one more scenario, Jackie. I also heard the governor saying how awful it was because, and you're going to give us a complete update here in a moment on the city of Moore, Oklahoma, and the tornado. 9 of 24 of the reported dead, confirmed dead, are children.
Yes.
And she was saying how sad that is. Now, I just want to ask, what difference does it make, Jackie, if you starve a child to death or you let them die because they could not get treatment because she is one of the ones who turned down those federal dollars from Obamacare?
Mm-hmm.
What difference does it make if a tornado takes them or you starve them to death or you let them die because they couldn't get medical treatment? What is the difference in that?
I really don't know. And that is a really excellent question because I just don't know. I mean, the sympathy the compassion that they demonstrate for these children who are taken from us in a natural disaster.
Yeah.
It seems like it's okay for them to be taken by some man-made calamity.
Yes. And
But
Jackie,
if it's a natural disaster, if they get gunned down in their schools, or they starve to death, or they die from some treatable illness,
and yes,
it's okay.
And I want our fans to understand that this thing is touching us as all tragedies touch us, right down to the sequester, cutting 70,000 kids off of Head Start, and right down to the sequester, cutting 600,000 families, mothers and children off of WIC. All of that hurts me. And as I watched TV last night and saw this tragedy occurring in Oklahoma, I would tell you right now that I cried. But this is a political talk show, and Jack and I have to point out their hypocrisy and their bullshit that keeps on coming. Now, they didn't want New Jersey to have any funds, and those people were absolutely devastated as well.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're thanking the president for his federal funds, his prayers. This president has been loving and caring for any state, whatever color you claim it to be. And then I'm going to stop fussing. I just want to show their unbelievable, unrelenting hypocrisy that goes on and on and on and on. Thus the subject, the shit just keeps on coming.
Yeah.
All right, Jackie, would you please give us the update on the Oklahoma tornadoes? We're going to cover that first in this first half hour. We want to know what happened. There's no such thing as climate change, and Republicans are still having trouble with this disaster aid stuff. Would you start for us, Jackie?
Okay. A monstrous tornado that was at least a half-mile wide roared through the Oklahoma City suburbs on Monday, flattening entire neighborhoods and destroying an elementary school with a direct blow as children and teachers huddled against winds up to 200 miles per hour.
Yes.
And I want to point out to folks that a hurricane, those are hurricane force winds. I mean, generally, tornadoes do not get that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The storm laid waste to scores of buildings in Moore, Oklahoma, which is a community of about 41,000 people. And block after block lay in ruins. Homes were crushed into piles of broken wood. The National Weather Service issued an initial finding that the tornado was an EF4 on the enhanced Fujita scale.
Wow.
The second most powerful type of twister. All right. And so we know the initial reports were that 51 people were killed, and that has been revised down to 24. But 9 of those 24 were children.
Yes.
The National Guard has been called out. President Obama immediately designated the affected area as a federal disaster area.
Mm-hmm.
And he called the governor of Oklahoma to give her his support and let her know that just as he did with Hurricane Sandy in New Jersey,
yes,
and New York,
amen,
cutting the red tape, making sure they get what they want when they need it.
Mm-hmm.
He offered the same support and assistance to the state of Oklahoma.
And as she's thanking the governor, she did no more than Governor Christie did. But the Republicans are just petty.
Well,
they're just petty, and it just amazes me that this goes on. But I also want to say that thank God for our president, that he is not petty.
Yeah.
Thank God that he sees people just as people. And aren't you glad, Republicans, that he does?
And that he understands that he is president of the entire United States.
That's right, as he promised to be.
Not the Democratic United States.
That's right.
Not the African American United States.
None of that.
He understands that he is president of the entire United States.
things. Yes, and he also
has demonstrated throughout his tenure.
Yes, and he also understands that y'all are petty and he's not, and he continues to do his job like the man that he is.
Yes.
So continue, Jackie.
Yes. So anyway, the devastation has been widespread and horrifying because this was such a big storm.
Yes.
And even Oklahomans who are accustomed to storms, because I went to school at the University of Arkansas, which is 110 miles east of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a portion of Oklahoma that includes Tulsa and OKC that they refer to as Tornado Alley.
Right.
So a tornado in Oklahoma is not an unusual occurrence. A tornado of this magnitude most certainly is.
Yes.
And the folks in Oklahoma are going to need a whole lot of help.
Yeah, this is so sad. I could not help but cry last night as I watched the news continuously reporting on this and seeing the devastation. I mean, leveled. They reported that at the Plaza Tower Elementary School, that the 4th through 6th grade had gotten out. They were moved to a church down the street before the storm hit. But K through 3 were the ones that were missing. And it just sent me into overdrive, just sent me into tears thinking about those little ones scared out of their minds, you know, as the parents rushed on to the scene screaming for their children. It was so very sad. And I don't know why things like this doesn't touch just people everywhere, Republicans or not. How could you come up with an evil thing in your heart to say at a time like that? But they will manage it depending on the state. They will find a way, baby, to come up with some mean ass to say. I just don't get it because it never hit me last night that Oklahoma was a red state, Jackie.
Not just a red state, Brenda. It's beyond. It's one of the reddest of the red.
Yeah, when you're thinking of red, think maroon. When you think Oklahoma, they say. But that never occurred to me. All that occurred to me was the parents, their babies in this school, and then it flashed across the screen that the emergency rescue servers were saying that not one wall was left standing in Plaza Tower Elementary. And that was so sad. And then through all of God's amazement, here they come pulling little kids out of this rubble.
Yes.
Unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And then, Jackie, I understand today that we have something like 10 million plus people in the path of these tornadoes that are still racing around the country through Tornado Alley. So Southwest Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, all of those are in the path.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is very sad. As Jackie and I crack a lot of fun here, let me just say, don't stop praying for the people that have already been through it and that may be facing it today, tomorrow, who knows. So God bless you, President Obama. And now they're looking for him to come to Oklahoma, and I'm sure Governor Fallon will be just as grateful as Governor Christie was.
Oh, I'm sure that she will be.
Amen.
Yes.
Continue,
so,
Jackie.
It's going to be what's going to be interesting next is simply this. Okay, the president immediately designated Oklahoma a disaster area. FEMA has been dispatched. You know, the Homeland Security Secretary has talked to the governor. Their teams are in place. They're working, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now, in order for them to get disaster relief, this is the emergency response.
Mm-hmm.
Congress needs to pass a bill to provide them with the disaster relief that they need.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you guys will recall, it took our Congress more than 3 months to vote disaster relief for Hurricane Sandy that was on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And since Oklahoma is one of the reddest of the red states, both of their senators, Senator Jim Inhofe and Senator Tom Coburn, are both Republicans. And they are known as fiscal hawks, who have repeatedly voted against funding disaster aid for other parts of the country. They have also opposed increased funding for FEMA, which administers federal disaster relief. Okay? Late last year, these senators both backed a plan to slash disaster relief to the victims of Hurricane Sandy, and they issued a press release last December in which Senator Coburn complained that the Sandy relief bill contained wasteful spending. Okay? And he objected to that bill included nearly $13 billion for future disaster mitigation activities and studies. Because if you can avoid a disaster, why not do that? Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. But now on Monday evening, the senator is going to seek to ensure, on Monday evening, the senator's office announced that he is seeking to ensure additional funding for tornado disaster relief in Oklahoma.
Say it ain't so.
Yeah. And he's asking that additional relief, though, be offset by cuts to federal spending elsewhere in the budget.
They are some amazing creatures.
But now, Senator Inhofe, he don't think so. He just think Oklahoma need their money.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So, Senator Inhofe he's kind of fudging on that part.
I don't understand why they would need money. That I just don't understand it. That's amazing to me. Money?
Yeah.
And federal dollars, Obama money?
Oh, yeah.
Because, he is the man. He is everything. He's the IRS.
Oh, yeah.
He's Jerry Sandusky.
Oh, yeah.
He's Pence. He's everything.
Oh, yeah.
This president is everything to them. And if anything bad happens, he is definitely that.
Oh, yeah. It did that. So this is going to be interesting to see how the Republicans handle this situation. Okay? Now, and I also wanted to talk about Mr. Tears, House Speaker John Boehner, because he gave a statement, on Tuesday, where he wept over the victims of Hurricane Sandy and the Oklahoma tornadoes.
Yes.
He mourned the loss of life, and he let everyone know that the Republicans will work with the administration on making sure
I bet
have
you
the
will.
resources they need. Okay?
I bet they will, Jackie.
Oh, yeah. Now, I've got to give you this bit, too. Boehner choked up on Tuesday as he said that his prayers are with Representative Tom Cole, whose hometown Moore was decimated by the tornado. He said he ordered the Capitol flag lowered to half-staff in honor of those hurt by the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the Oklahoma legislators find themselves in an awkward situation with this incident, because nearly 180 House Republicans voted against relief for the victims of Hurricane Sandy.
Oh, yes.
And they're saying, well, it's a different situation.
What? Those people are suffering because it was called a hurricane and this is called a tornado? Is that the difference?
I guess so.
That's the only difference I can possibly see, Jackie.
Yeah, so this is going to be over the net. Just like you were saying that, yes, this is very serious. It is.
It is.
But the politics of this are absolutely fascinating because, I really enjoy politics.
We love politics, and I love to see these dad-burn, evil-ass Republicans sweat it out. See, this is the whole thing about this, y'all. You never know when your state, your people, your community will be devastated. So why would you knock helping another community? This is what Americans, or another state, this is what Americans do. As soon as we get off the phone, I am going to text in my $10 and pay an additional $10 on my cell phone bill to make sure that I give $10 to.
That's right, to the radio. You bet.
And it's not like every time I turn around, I got $10, $20, $5 to give to everybody. But I find it. I say to myself that it could be me. It could be my whole state, which I have lots of family there. And I have an interest in making sure that they get federal dollars because a lot of Arkansas is right in Tornado Alley.
That's right.
And so,
and the thing about it too, though, B, is simply just as I said before, the states that are the reddest are the ones that get the most money.
Mm-hmm. And thank God for New York and New Jersey.
Job and taxes.
Okay.
But they want whatever money there is. I guess they figure that they deserve it better than the rest of us because
because they just nuts.
They just better than the rest.
Yeah,
of us.
It just doesn't make any sense.
They're superior to the rest of us.
But I am not willing to see anybody else suffer to get back at the Republicans because of their evil doing. So, hooray, Mr. President, for moving once again swiftly when American people are in need, as he always tries to do. Now, Jackie, we're coming up on a commercial here in the next 3 or 4 minutes. So let me say this, and then you can continue right up to the commercial time. Kevin Durant, is from, or he plays for the Thunder.
Yeah, he plays for the OKC Thunder. Yeah.
That's right. He plays for the Oklahoma Thunder. And he has just donated $1 million to the Red Cross. Mm-hmm. And he's asking some of the rest of you big pocket spenders to match it.
Yes.
So this is absolutely wonderful. And I bet you won't catch the Republicans cracking jokes about Negro basketball players tonight. Not from Oklahoma anyway. Because, they'll talk about anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And all we are a bunch of watermelon eating chicken wings, and that is true. We do love that. But, this is what they love to do, talk about him. Well, talk about him now. Because Kevin Durant just gave back to the state of Oklahoma in their time of need.
And I'm sure that the players are going to be doing a lot. I'm sure the players are going to be very high profile in building efforts.
Yes, this is kudos to you, Kevin Durant. Applauds, and I love to hear this sort of stuff. And so I'm going to do my part by adding $10 more to my cell phone bill, as I did for that our niece Shapree's best friend and her aunt being killed on Mother's Day in a terrible car accident, and as I've done for many other things that touches my heart. And people are always saying they cheating. If you know the story to be true, and whether they're cheating you or not, it's not on me.
That's right.
So when I give from my heart, I give because one day I know that I'm going to need somebody to give to me. All of us could have that day come for us. So we really need to just say to yourself, let's forget about the margaritas this weekend and let's donate $10 to the Red Cross. The Red Cross is not a political organization.
Yes, or forget about your Starbucks.
That's right. Okay.
For one day.
I just wanted to say that, Jackie. It is commercial time. Would you like to finish up or for another 5 minutes, or you want me to go ahead and break?
No, I think that we can go ahead because I believe that we have covered this.
I think we've done enough damage.
We could laugh at them some more, but we have other things.
Yes, and we will continue to laugh about them when we come back. You are listening to Let's Talk About It. Spreaker U-Voice 2012 Award for the most informative. I am the wonderful, the wild and wonderful Brenda White. And always helping me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed. The uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. So y'all stick and stay right here at Let's Talk About It, and we'll be right back to talk about it some more. And that is, the shit keeps on coming.
We swim in this ocean. We all share the air that we breathe. The only thing that separates us is what we've been taught to believe. But don't you be deceived. Oh yeah, we are one. We are one. We are one.
You are listening to the beginning of Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect. Starting out with Let's Talk About It with the wild and wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. And waiting at the Spreaker Depot is David Capers and that wild train ride he's going to take you on called the Razor Blade Express. Oh, honey, you know you got to hold on to your wig and your panties too, because this ride is unbelievable. And then waiting in the wings is the Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez, with the smoothest, most relaxing love songs on the net. So stick and stay right here for Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect, beginning at 5 until 7 p.m. for Let's Talk About It, the funniest, the craziest, and the most informative political talk show on the net. And then waiting at the depot, get your tickets for David Capers and the Razor Blade Express from 7 until 10 p.m. And waiting in the wings from 10 until 12 midnight, the Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez. He's going to do it to you up and down, round and round, back and forth, side to side, and then straight down the middle of your ear hole. I'll see you in the chat room at Spreaker.com. All times Eastern.
Spreaker.com for listening to thousands of radio channels and start creating your own radio today.
The monkeys in the crowd are still with us, and we appreciate it. Welcome to the chat room, Daddy Boo Boo, a.k.a. David Capers. Coming up next, waiting in the wings. Okay, Jackie, so we're back now. And on this half hour, y'all, we're going to talk about the Republicans on a roll. Benghazi, IRS, the Justice Department, and so on and so on. Okay, Jackie, let's go.
All right. Well, the Republicans have just been absolutely orgasmic over the.
Wait, I'm sorry, because the people can't hear you with me screaming.
I'm
sorry, Jackie. You know, okay, that wasn't even right. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. Jackie said the Republicans have been just orgasmic. I could just see them. Did you get a picture in your mind? Okay, go ahead, Jackie.
Well, they've just been enjoying it so much, and they're just so outraged. And finally, we have something that proves what we've been saying about this fake president all these years. Okay?
Yes.
So the Internal Revenue Service issue with them targeting Tea Party groups, and I think rightly so, but we'll get back to that later. And I'm probably in the minority on this.
I doubt it, but go ahead.
Because, I think that they were right to do what they were doing. And, of course, the hearings on Benghazi, that they just are never, it seems that these hearings are never going to go away.
Jackie, if they would just get one thing that the administration or Hillary Clinton did wrong, the emails, she wasn't even copied on the emails that night. What was the man's name that was the head of the CIA at the time?
David Petraeus.
David Petraeus, General Petraeus, who lacks that young stuff, young fit stuff. Mm-hmm. They practically gave him a blowjob at his hearing. Mm-hmm. And he was in charge of this particular unit, security.
What the Republicans, the narrative that the Republicans are trying to create around Benghazi is that the Obama administration lied to the public about the source of these attacks because it was coming up to an election.
Yes.
And that somehow for them to mislead the American public, which I don't believe they did, but that's a whole different thing, was some kind of political ploy to keep Mitt Romney from winning the presidency. President Obama would have taken more than Benghazi for Mitt Romney to win the presidency, but that's another story as well, right?
Okay.
So what they're trying to do is smear the president's administration with innuendo. They keep referring to President Obama as corrupt. They keep referring to the administration as being basically illegal. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? So
yes, I do.
They keep working on, even though there is no there.
And every time you ask one of them, what evidence do you have that the administration was doing anything wrong? What evidence do you have? Well, we don't know. Y'all, forgive me for that beep going on. That is someone trying to call our line right now, which I am not going to answer. So they got about one more beep before it stops, if that.
Okay.
All right. But
so the Republicans are working really, really hard, and they just keep having these Benghazi hearings, and nothing ever comes of it except for them gesticulating and being outraged.
And don't forget,
but I want to make a point about that as well.
Okay, but Jackie, don't forget that in between the Benghazi hearings, where there is no there, don't forget that they are continuously making time to vote against Obamacare.
Brilliant.
I'm so tired of it. Go ahead.
Well, I thought about that this morning because when I was thinking about the show schedule and all that,
mm-hmm.
I was thinking about how tiresome this has all become. And it makes you not even want to watch the news. And I believe that is one of their goals as well, is to make the electorate just so tired.
And Jackie, what's even worse than that is that our news teams, our news stations that we respect and adore, like MSNBC, they all continue to jump on this one bandwagon, and whatever the one bandwagon says, that's going to be the top story of the day. That's the story of the day. And it is no news.
Yeah, and it's not only that. It is simply that news used to be news.
Yeah,
News used to be information. If you're as old as we are, you remember Walter Cronkite.
Yes.
Walter Cronkite was the guy who gave you the news, and the news was just that. It was news.
It was news.
You know, this is what happened today. It was not commentary. It wasn't all of this other crap. There wasn't a big spin put on it. It was that this is what happened today.
Let me say this, Jackie. I was very saddened to see that the tornado in Moore, Oklahoma had to take over that foolishness and stop it.
Yeah.
But the tornado dominated
Mm-hmm.
the news since yesterday. So we haven't heard this bull crap. But I was to the point of wanting to pull my shotgun, which Obama has not taken.
Yeah.
And wanting to shoot my own TV screen out. Just so sick of this mess. And Fox takes it even to another level.
Oh, well, Fox is always taking it to another level. That's their job.
As Barry calls them, fixed news. Yes. As Richard
Yes.
Pryor says, Jack, I know it's their job because that's all they do.
That's it. But with the Benghazi thing that they're still going on about, and the IRS, quote, scandal, unquote. One of the things that had surprised me, though, is that even though after the initial report of the Justice Department issuing subpoenas for 2 months of records from AP reporters as they're looking for a leak,
Mm-hmm.
the Republicans at first, they jumped up, and then they've kind of quieted down about it.
And Jackie, what do they want the president to do?
And it's
His,
not just that.
his administration has already asked for and received the resignation of the acting director of the IRS. This is no more than what happens whether you're Republican or Democrat in any other of these big so-called scandals. That you hate to see, people are still human beings, and you hate to see them lose their benefits and their retirement and all of this stuff. So they just ask for their resignation and let them go on to live their lives. And John Boehner, I want to see somebody going to jail. Well, let's start with you.
Oh, I want to see some folks going to jail, too. I want to start at Goldman Sachs.
Okay.
All right.
I want to start with Jamie Dimon's ass. Take him to jail. And then after the country crashed in 2008, the stock market crashed. Banks were, and bankers leaping out of windows and crashing. Jamie Dimon comes back in here last year
Mm-hmm.
before the committee that oversees regulations or some bullshit they called it. He comes back in here and he had lost another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 billion. Yeah, we don't even know. And not Inhofe, what is the mean one, Jackie, that made his living on security alarms?
Oh, Daryl Issa. That's
Daryl Issa. He sat there and gave Jamie Dimon a blowjob last summer.
Oh, yeah.
$2 billion. We lose that
If
here.
we want to start talking about sending people to jail, I want to see Dick Cheney go to jail.
Okay.
I want to see Donald Rumsfeld go to jail. I want to see
Richard Pryor said, Bob Keys, Herbert Jensen, you know. We want to see all of them go to jail. But Issa sat there and looked at Jamie Dimon last summer, Jackie, and said, $2 billion. We lose that up here every day.
Oh, yeah.
Like it wasn't
No
nothing.
big deal. No big deal.
Why isn't somebody reporting on that? Did you hear what he said? He said they lost it up there every day.
Yes.
And it's no big deal. Why do you make a story out of that? These
Yes. Well,
freaking
apparently
budget
that's
hawks.
not enough drama. And that's what I wanted to go back to when we were talking about the press.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good enough for the press to just report information anymore.
Mm-mm.
They've got to report entertainment. Because
Yes.
now they have to make money. I don't know if you and I talked about this on the air before.
And they have to get everybody from the Tasmanian devil
Sure.
But what I was
To Elmer Fudd up there to testify, to be an analyst. Good God Almighty! Go ahead,
but what I
Jackie.
was referring to, and that was another thing too, is that back in the day we didn't have a lot of analysts. We had reporters that went out to find the facts. They had to confirm their stories through several sources, and then they present it to the public as news in the news. And they had editors that went through all of this stuff to make sure that their folks were on the up and up. Yeah? Okay. But that was before the news division of the networks had to show a profit. Because back in the day, the news divisions were separate from entertainment and all this other stuff. They were separate over here, and they used whatever resources they needed to get and report the news. That's what happened. But then, around the time of Ronald Reagan, it's amazing how many things start with Ronald Reagan, isn't it?
Yes.
But around the time of Ronald Reagan,
and they talk about Ronald Reagan like he's the greatest man. He's next to Jesus walking on water. Wasn't it his administration that damn near all of them went to prison?
Oh, much of them, yeah.
Shit, they don't never say nothing about
and
that.
Everyone conveniently forgets about that. I mean, people forget about, why Oliver North is famous.
Yes. Okay, Oliver North. And who's the other great, Scuba Liddy? No, that was Nixon.
No, that was Nixon.
Yeah. Well, he's still famous, too.
No. Scooter Libby was Cheney. Okay.
Oh, yes.
And then you're talking about... what is that guy?
I know, it's right on the tip of our tongues. But just think about all these Republican administrations. They're always taking their asses to jail, and they just can't stand that Bill Clinton. They talked about impeaching Bill Clinton on just because he got some head from Monica Lewinsky and didn't tell nobody. You ain't supposed to tell when you get
that. But the person I blame for that Monica Lewinsky thing is Bill Clinton. That's who I blame for that.
Yeah, and that's all you should blame, but it's not an impeachable offense.
No, it is not an impeachable offense.
And they're talking about impeaching the president like it's really going to happen.
And not only that, like it's really going to help something.
Like it's really going to help something. And they say nothing about jobs.
No.
Not one effing word do they say.
Because they not only do they not care, but they are upset because the unemployment rate keeps going down, even though they're working real hard to keep it up.
With what is it, Jackie? The jobs reports coming out and the rate still dropping.
Yes.
To 7.5. What's that rate called? I get so upset.
What's the unemployment rate for you?
I get so pissed when we get to talking about the Republicans and their witch hunting and their hypocrisy that it just makes me mad. And I'm not saying that Democrat politicians don't play some of the same games, but they are not just hateful and obvious like the Republicans are.
And not only that, when Democrats get busted, usually they resign, they do something.
Yeah, they step on,
Get busted, you have to drag their asses out. They're not going anywhere.
Remember Anthony Weiner, Jackie?
Yes.
He was resigning, but his constituents, the overall consensus was don't resign.
Yes.
Because you showed you who threw your draws on. They just said don't resign.
Because
but he resigned because
he was just so proud of his wiener.
Yeah. But he resigned because the Democrats told him, we don't need this distraction right now.
Yes.
Just step on aside. You need to be doing some healing with your family right now. Yes. Which he did. And it said that he may be coming back. But we have some kind of, they got some kind of just a little bit of sense running through the Democratic,
Well, Brenda, it's like I say, the Republicans have allowed their crazy people to start running their party.
Yeah, they do.
And the Democrats, we don't let our crazy people run our party.
Jackie, I'll never forget when they were really behind Susan Engel and
Sharon Angle.
And there they were talking about her. There she was talking about, in the old days, you could take a chicken to the doctor and trade it. So my doctor is a conservative Republican. And he is one of the best 100 doctors in America. And he and I have the best laughs at all times. And I went in to see him during the week that Sharon Angle came out with this statement of how she was, this was her Band-Aid for health care. Take a chicken and give it to the doctor. And I went in there and I told Dr. B that I wanted to instead of paying that $87 for a visit, I wanted to give him a chicken. And he told me, B. White, you better get out of here with that effing with that effing mess. I am not a crazy conservative, nor am I a crazy Republican. I wish you would try to bring a chicken up in here to me.
Oh, yeah.
And me and my doctor have been having fun like this for 20 years. And he said to me during the campaign, Obama is a really good guy, but he has to deal with too many knuckleheads.
Yes.
And that's really what it boils down to. And Obama, he sometimes got his Democratic Party acting a fool with him, and he got the Republican Party. Most folks could not keep a straight. I mean, Nixon just had to go take him some pills, Quaaludes and shit.
Yeah.
He was always sweating like Marion Barry, like he had been smoking crack. But that's what them pills will make you do.
Marion Barry.
He was always sweating like Marion Barry, because
I'm gonna remember that.
He was a pill popper and Marion Barry was a crackhead.
Yes.
And so that's the way it is. But Jackie, I have a little clip from Joe Scarborough.
Yes.
About this IRS supposed scandal.
Yes.
And according to Joe, he can't think of anything else in the world that's worse than this.
Okay.
Okay, y'all, this clip is a little over 3 minutes long, so sit back and let's listen, all right?
This morning, breaking the Wall Street Journal, talking about wider problems found at the IRS. They're finding out that it wasn't just if Tea Party was in their name, and it wasn't just if Patriot was in their name. It also included those worried about government spending, debt, taxes, basically any conservative fiscal approach. The IRS decided this is mind-boggling. I'm going to say what else. I want you to continue, Mika. But what is mind-boggling also is the headline on the front page of the New York Times, which didn't even put this on the front page of its national edition this weekend. Their headline: IRS focus on conservatives gives GOP a path, an issue to seize on. This while, Mika, the ACLU is coming out talking about how chilling this is, how frightening this is, that this government is using the Internal Revenue Service to target people with whom they disagree.
It does not look good at all. It looks, I'd say, embarrassing as a way to start, but we'll find out much more. Joining us now from Washington, we have NBC News senior investigative correspondent Lisa Myers joining us now. Lisa, great to have you back on the show. What are you hearing there?
Thanks, Mick. Well, people I talked to over the weekend in both parties were absolutely dumbfounded that something like this could happen in the IRS. Did these people not remember the Nixon administration? I mean, one of the abuses of power was his use of the IRS against his political enemies. Clearly what the IRS has said so far doesn't add up. An official on Friday said, well, conservative groups were targeted, but this wasn't politically motivated. Huh? And then, and then the acknowledgement that senior officials knew and did not inform Congress. In fact, they told Congress that the claims that conservative groups were being targeted were untrue.
Hey, Lisa, can I stop you right there? And just on that point, Mika, read this timeline, if you will.
Okay.
And then have Lisa move on that, because she was just about talking about what the IRS said.
All right, here's the timeline of the IRS's position on the issue. According to reports obtained by the Associated Press, the findings seem to contradict public statements made by the agency's commissioner. In March of 2012, IRS Commissioner Douglas Shulman testified that there was, quote, absolutely no targeting, adding that the investigations were, quote, the kind of back and forth that happens to people.
So a year ago, absolutely no targeting.
On Saturday, the IRS put out a statement reading, quote, senior leadership was not aware of this level of specific details at the time of the March 2012 hearing.
Okay, so they were saying it was just low-level employees in Ohio. That was on Friday.
It goes on to say, quote, senior leadership did not have this level of detail, but the Associated Press reports that back in June of 2011, the official who heads the IRS division that oversees tax-exempt organizations learned at a meeting that groups were being targeted. And just 2 months later, in August of 2011, staffers in the IRS's Rulings and Agreements Office, quote, held a meeting with chief counsel so that everyone would have the latest information on the issue.
Lisa Myers, people sort of try to clean things up, and they'll say, well, you know, they misspoke or there were falsehoods. These are just out-and-out lies. I mean, people in Middle America would just call these out-and-out lies. The IRS has been lying, and I'm kind of shocked, even Mother Joan.
Who is shocked by the IRS, Jackie?
I have no idea.
Who's shocked? They're lying. The most outrageous. It's just, I don't believe it. It's mind-boggling. Who in the hell is shocked?
And the thing about it, Brenda, let's talk about what it is that the IRS did. They didn't put anybody in jail. They didn't seize anybody's assets. What they did was they asked for clarification with some of these applications.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
They didn't do anything. Listen, even if they did it on a political basis, they still targeted the right sons of bitches.
And they didn't. It's not like they hurt anybody. And you were talking about
didn't put nobody out of no homes.
Outrage. Can we go ahead and keep going with Joe Scarborough?
Okay.
All right, because
please do.
Saying that you can't allow government to trade on political speech. And first of all, I want to say that what the Internal Revenue Service has done has not treaded on anyone's political speech. This has to do with your tax designation.
Yes.
Okay? Now, Scarborough said that he couldn't imagine anything much worse than this. But Joe Scarborough himself in 2003...
Yes, he did. When it was called Scarborough Country.
NAACP continues to get a free ride off of taxpayers because of the tax-exempt status that's conferred to them by our federal government.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this despite the fact that the NAACP produced and ran the most vicious campaign attack ad in the history of presidential campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
As Americans, NAACP members are free to speak their mind at any time.
Mm-hmm.
But they shouldn't be getting a tax-free ride on the backs of hardworking Americans who don't get such preferential treatment. President Bush and members of Congress should have the guts to yank the tax-exempt status away from these left-wing activists.
Amazing.
While they're at it, take away the tax-exempt status of any right-wing activists who thumb their noses at the law as brazenly as does the NAACP.
That sounds like exactly what Karl Rove and many others have done. Thumbed their noses and went right on in there. Yeah. And let us remind you, listeners, let Jack and I remind you that your taxpayer dollars is helping to fund Karl Rove's bullshit machine.
That's right. And when you think about all the hundreds of millions of dollars that Rove and his people get to spend on bullshit, not one of it what, not one dime is subject to taxation? Think about it.
Yeah, this is why they are always talking about the president like a dog, always after Hispanic groups and helping they give money to, oh my God, all this bullshit about Hispanics can't they ain't gonna do nothing but have babies that ain't smart and don't know nothing either. It just crazy ass bullshit. Your tax dollars pays for this crazy bullshit. And Michelle Bachmann has come out with her first new ad. So excited that the House has passed her bill to repeal Obamacare. And it ain't going nowhere else if it did pass the House.
Yeah.
Jackie, and taxpayers help with this bullshit. Am I correct?
Yeah, and the other thing about this whole tax exempt status argument is that the tax status that these groups are applying for allows them to shield their donors. Okay? And a 501c4, you don't have to say where your money is coming from.
That's right.
Okay? And so, and the other thing, too, about this tax status that they're applying for is that they can be political operatives that are not regulated by the Federal Elections Commission. Okay.
Jackie.
So, see, this is, I have been very disappointed that the Internal Revenue Service has not stood up to say, hey, this is why we're doing this stuff. Give their examples.
I'm disappointed too, Jackie. Why can't you stand up and say, yes, we did target them, but we target them because we watched their commercials.
Yeah, we targeted them for this reason.
For this reason.
And in our estimation, their activities do not constitute social welfare activities, which is what a 501c4 is supposed to be for.
I mean, don't the Internal Revenue looks at your bank accounts and all sorts of stuff, and then they say, hey, this guy is not he made $50 million with his business, and he spent $51 million personally, and he didn't pay any taxes on this and that. That's when they start looking at you. So we observed their campaign messages throughout the last 2 years, and we don't believe that this is not politically tapped. So
exactly.
I don't understand either, Jackie, why they just can't stand up.
Even if they wrote them back a letter saying, you know, we reviewed your application, and it looks to us that you are applying for the wrong status. And
yes, and you were less than honest than when you got this tax free break and la la la. Why? I don't understand why they. What are the emails? Have you seen any of them, Jackie?
No, I have not.
I would like to know if the email said, you know, hey, let's target all things with Tea Party in them. Now, according to all the news whores, they haven't read that.
No.
So I really don't understand. And then these news people know that the groups that they targeted were rightfully targeted.
Yes.
I don't understand, Jackie, what the scandal is. And this is just despicable, and this is horrible. Who among us has ever loved the IRS?
Not one of us.
And what in the hell did Barack Obama have to do with these rules? Only thing Barack Obama has done is change the rules a little bit to make them not so fucking harsh on you.
Yes.
He set out to do that.
Yes.
But they really, for as many times as they called him ignorant and he don't know shit and la 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 la, they put more shit that he can be running all at once than anybody in history.
Yes, and I mean, and I know that the point is that things that happen under the president's administration are ultimately his responsibility.
Right.
But But the Republicans always like to make it seem like President Obama personally came out of the White House
and sent memos
and stood over folks.
Yeah, read
and
this
told
and
them this is what you're going to do.
yes.
You know, is not true. And just like you were saying about how the president has been working to change IRS rules to make it not as hard on individual taxpayers,
Yeah.
I have to tell you that I know that you know this, but probably the listeners don't, is that I do do taxes for my family and for friends and a few other people, because I have taken tax preparation courses because it's very interesting. If you want your eyes open, baby, take a tax preparation course. Oh my God.
Okay.
But one of the things that I have noticed about the Internal Revenue Service is that calling them is a lot easier now. And the people, when you talk to them, they are actually helpful and give you information. Not like in the olden days.
Okay.
So, yes, it is better than it used to be. It is much better than it used to be.
Yeah, and Barack Obama puts people in charge of these sections of government, but the Republicans won't let they won't pass anybody's what is it, Jackie?
What they won't confirm?
They won't confirm anybody for the president. You all would be shocked to know the hundreds of offices that the president needs to nominate.
Well, and that's why we have so many people as acting directors and acting.
That's right. Everybody is acting because the Republicans absolutely refuse to pass.
They refuse to confirm a lot of the presidents.
Yeah, they refuse to confirm.
And if they're waiting for another Republican president,
they were
they're going to be waiting for a long time.
They started their.
Honestly, the whole point about this segment is the Republicans, their obstructionism, them dragging their feet, all of this other stuff. How long do they think they can delay? The country continues to get browner. And even though they keep doing their voter suppression and their gerrymandering and all this other stuff, they cannot keep this up forever.
No, they can't.
They're going to have to come to the table and govern. And I have noticed that the president does seem to be getting really frustrated with this shit.
He is getting real tired of it,
There are a lot of things that need to be done that are not getting done because the Republicans are all over the universe. Oh, they did this and they said that. You know, they're always on some stupid distraction after another. They are not doing their jobs. They keep getting paid.
And the president said that he won't take any pay. Who among them refuse to take pay as the country continues this struggle?
You mean you say he cut his pay, right?
He cut his pay. They said that the president, and they stuck with this lie. Where's the president's bill? Why don't he put a jobs bill on the table? He had a freaking book. And he went on a tour around the country, holding that book up in the air, saying, pass this bill. You can go to the Obama website.
That's as far back as 2011.
Yes, and read his jobs bill. And that was 2011. They're still saying he ain't never put no jobs bill on. They are the architects of, if you continue to repeat a lie,
yes,
it'll be true.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with the gun legislation that was defeated. It's the exact same thing. The Republican senators were out. Some of the Republican senators, excuse me, not all of them, but there were some who were out talking about things that were not in the bill. And so this has just become really frustrating. And the thing about it is, the only people who can make them do better, the only people who can make them do their jobs, the only people are the voters. And as long as the voters keep putting these votes, I still keep asking myself, who is voting for these guys? Mark Sanford is being sent to the State House of Representatives.
Okay.
Who votes for these people?
Jackie, it doesn't matter to them. When it comes down to the wire, they say, okay, if he's Republican, it's better than having a Democrat. No matter how ignorant, no matter how racist, no matter how embarrassing, we need a Republican holding that seat, because in their opinion, you know, they're such bullies. We'll make them vote with us, and he'll vote with us. And so we need anything to vote against the Democrats and their job-killing bills.
Yes.
As they continue to bring up another bill to Obamacare is the law of the land.
Yes.
You already voted. You already fought against it, and then you sent
And
it.
the thing about it, though, Brenda, is that these votes to repeal Obamacare are just for show. Because what's going on now is the trench warfare. What they're trying to do is they're trying to keep the bill from being. They're trying to keep the law from being implemented.
It is simply for show. And Al Sharpton's. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
May I
Jackie.
just add one more thing about
Yes.
that, please?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to keep the law from being implemented. This is the most anti-democratic shit I have ever seen.
Ever seen.
And that I have ever seen. When in our history has it been okay for the legislation was passed, we had an election, and yet they continue to
The people have spoken.
Yes.
But no, they're not having it. They're not hearing it. Joe Scarborough, this is the most despicable thing. Not cause the IRS targeted the right sons of bitches.
Right.
Okay?
And not only that, we're not even talking about like huge numbers. That apparently of the 300 applications that the IRS pulled out, about 25% of them were conservative political groups.
Okay.
Okay. And while I know that in the grand scheme of things, that might be, to some people, seem like a huge percentage. But that's the other thing that gets me, is that we're not talking about gargantuan numbers here.
I'm sorry, Jack.
Also not and we are not talking about any harm being done to any of these groups.
No, they ain't lost a home, a car, ain't missed a lobster or a steak meal, nothing.
Yes.
They're just trying to say you're not getting any more taxpayer money for this bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to talk about the president and repeal Obamacare and all this shit, do it on your own dime.
Exactly.
They're absolutely protecting you, taxpayers.
That's all it is. So I've been incredibly disappointed about how the press has been reporting on this. I've been disappointed about how the IRS has responded to it. Frankly, I have been really disappointed in how the Obama administration has responded to it.
Well, he's responded, Jackie, like
I think somebody needs to stand up and say, yeah.
He responds like he always responds. He walks softly, carries a big stick. He accepted, basically fired the acting IRS head.
Yeah, he gave him somebody's head.
He's still firing. And what is it? What do they want him to do? Eat these people?
Oh, no,
and then they'll know that.
No. This is what they want him to do. They want President Obama to confess to having an enemies list, and he was using the IRS.
He didn't need no damn enemies.
I'm not done. You asked the question I'm trying to answer.
Okay, you are trying to answer me. I did ask the question. Continue.
You asked the question I'm trying to answer. So they want him to confess that he did this evil thing and that he hates these people, and he especially hates white people. And yes, he was trying to turn the country into a moo-moo tribe.
Yes, and he hates America.
They want him to resign, and then after his resignation, they want him to stand out on the White House lawn and kill himself.
And
That's what they want him to do.
And that he was born in Benghazi. And then roast and eat some asses. It's just amazing. They want him to turn.
That's what they want to happen.
Yeah, they want him to turn himself into the first prison.
Yes.
And say, okay, I was born in Benghazi, and that's why we kill Chris Stevens and the other Americans.
Oh yeah, you know, this would be their absolute perfect world, but sorry,
it ain't happening. and I'm sorry too, as you were speaking seriously, and I burst out laughing. You know, I should have taken the chat room down as you were speaking, but my eyes fell over there, and David Capers said,
they know I don't look at them.
David Capers said, "Uh-oh, Jackie mad now. She just cussed big time."
Oh, did I cuss? I'm sorry.
At some point, you must have, because they just can't wait in the chat room to hear you curse. It's as though I curse all the time, and they're used to it. But when Jackie curses, the whole chat room, they perk up like a bunch of new biddies on Easter Sunday. Okay, y'all, we got to take another commercial break. We haven't taken one in 46 minutes as it is.
That's right. I'm sorry.
No. I looked at the clock and I let it go because I enjoy our conversation so much. And it is crucial that we get these talks through to y'all because, see, Jackie and I don't get paid jack to report the facts and the truth to y'all. So it's important that we get our facts and our truth and our fun out to you each day. And I promise you, if we are wrong about anything, Jackie will not let me continue with a lie. She won't let us mislead you. She sits up all night long researching shit and making sure that you are getting the absolute true details without the damn media drama, okay? Because we be cussing about the media as much. I know, you know, so many people come here, Jackie, and they might not heard some of the stories we tell them because they can't stand to watch no more either.
Yes.
It's just bullshit. And you are listening to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White, and helping me to talk about it and always helping to keep you informed and helping the jokes to roll is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. We're going to take a short break. We ask you to tell somebody to join us here every Tuesday evening from 5 until 7, and let's talk about it. We'll be right back.
We're all made of the same stuff everywhere. From the earth to the stars. We swim in this ocean. We all share the air that we breathe. The only thing that separates us is what we've been taught to believe. But don't you be deceived. Listening to the beginning of Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect, starting out with Let's Talk About It with the wild and wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, aka Miss Uppity Speaks, and waiting at the Spreaker Depot is David Capers and that wild train ride he's going to take you on called the Razor Blade Express. Oh, honey, you know you got to hold on to your wig and your panties too, because this ride is unbelievable. And then waiting in the wings is the Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez, with the smoothest, most relaxing love songs on the net. So stick and stay right here for Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect, beginning at 5 until 7 p.m. for Let's Talk About It, the funniest, the craziest, and the most informative political talk show on the net. And then waiting at the depot, get your tickets for David Capers and the Razor Blade Express from 7 until 10 p.m. And waiting in the wings from 10 until 12 midnight, the Love Doctor,
DJ Tony Sanchez. He's going to do it to you up and down, round and round, back and forth, side to side, and then straight down the middle of your ear hole. I'll see you in the chat room at Spreaker.com. All times Eastern. Oh yeah, coming up, waiting in the wings is Daddy Boo Boo. And the wildest train ride you ever will find yourself on. But before we come back to you with our last bits of news and fun for you today, let me let you listen to my good friend Cheyenne Anthony and State of the World. You're listening to Let's Talk About It, and we appreciate it.
The state of the world is such disarray. But one thing's certain, we can't survive without change. Signs are everywhere. The problem is that we don't seem to care. What do we have to pay? What do some still segregate? Parents high on drugs, children not receiving enough love. Drive by on a house, stray bullets killed the man of the house. Police beat a young man on film. Riots happening under arrest or killed. Say the world inside disarray. One thing certain, we can't survive without change. Signs are everywhere. The problem is that we don't seem to care. Kids dying way too young, can kill for the colors they have on. Little kids playing in the street, and a returning to the parents' disbelief. The ozone layer is almost gone. We can't survive like this very long. Marvin asks us what's going on. It's sad we still don't get the song. Say the world inside disarray. One thing certain, we can't survive without change. Signs are everywhere. The problem is that we don't seem to care. Truck driver gets another DUI. 2 days later he kills a mother of 5. Man killed his wife and his unborn, just 'cause he didn't want them anymore. People killing over religion. No matter what you believe in, it's still sinning. Mother smoking dope like a fool. A 6-month-old baby drowns in a pool. Say the world inside disarray. One thing certain, we can't survive without change. Signs are everywhere. The problem is that we don't seem to care. People killing, fathers lying, people stealing, mothers crying, brothers, sisters fighting, always over senseless violence. Medical companies fighting over rights to cures that could save 1,000 lives. Katrina, 9/11,
Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Yes, indeed. We're back, and you're back. Well, let's talk about it. The Wild and Wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, and that was R&B crooner Cheyenne Anthony, State of the World. I love that song. He really put that together so nicely. And Jackie, before we continue on, I just want to ask you one question.
Okay.
Do the Republicans think they can talk about this shit for the next 3.5 years?
Hell yeah. They sure gonna give it a try.
And thus, we're right back to the title of the show tonight, and the shit keeps on coming.
Yeah.
And Jackie, we got some more shit that's still coming.
More.
Now, it's time for the general foolishness to start, Jackie. We got about 34 minutes left for the show. So you want to go ahead and start with the general foolishness?
Yes, I want for all of our listeners to know that the great state of Texas has single-handedly saved Christmas.
Get out of here.
Yes.
What the fuck you talking about, Jackie?
That Christmas may be 7 months away, but Texas is ready for it. State lawmakers there waged their own battle against the so-called war on Christmas this past Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They passed legislation that allows public school teachers to say Merry Christmas and display Christmas trees, nativity scenes, or menorahs.
And all you Muslims and Jews and Puerto Ricans and Negroes that don't like it can get the hell out of our country.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. I was possessed for a second there.
Yes. So while the legislation specifies that schools may not constitutionally favor one religion over another, the bill is named for only one religion, Christmas.
Well, Jackie, well, let me let the monkeys cheer for me. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, now
that was huge bill.
Representative Dwayne Bohack, who also happens to be a Republican, I'm sure you're surprised.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Sponsored this legislation. And he said that he came up with the idea when his 6-year-old son told him about how he had decorated the holiday tree with holiday ornaments. The representative said, I was a little bit flabbergasted and a little bit upset that we've become so politically correct that we can't call a federal holiday by its name.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Who changed the name of Christmas?
Sweetie, I have no...
I swear, I think these Republicans are smoking crack with Marion Barry.
Yeah, well, they even have...
Because you know he never did quit.
Let me tell you what the Republicans in Texas have done. They have even put up a website to drum up support for this bill.
Jackie, just when I get tired of bullshit, you give me more bullshit.
Look, I'm not doing it.
You reading that
not
shit?
Me.
Shit. That's all you give me is bullshit. Okay, well, since your bullshit is rolling, would you please talk to me about the NRA, the new NRA president? Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see what his name.
Okay.
What's his name?
Wait. Let's back up. Okay. A little bit, because as you guys remember, going into break, Brenda was talking about how I don't let her tell you things that aren't true.
That's right.
And Brenda ran across something online that she found so interesting. She put it up on the Let's Talk About It page.
Yeah, I did.
And I want to read this to you guys, and it's about the National Rifle Association's new president.
Wait, Jackie, I'm sorry. The people can't hear your stories with me laughing. And I, again, looked at the chat room, and David Caper said, yeah, who started that shit? It was not me. I got an email from Dr. Marshall that owns the Observer in Americus, Georgia.
Yes.
I got an email from him. That's why I went with it. And then I woke up and decided that I would check it out.
Well,
and
we talked about that last night, right?
Yes. Okay. So what happened, Jackie? What had happened was...
Here is the story. And this story comes to us from freewoodpost.com. Okay?
That's right.
It seems new National Rifle Association President Jim Porter may have found himself in a bit of hot water. Not long ago, he made his feelings about the Civil War known when he referred to it as the War of Northern Aggression. In that same speech, he referred to President Obama as a, quote, fake president, unquote, and Attorney General Eric Holder as rabidly un-American. However, none of those remarks that anyone could deem as racist compared to his remarks made at a recent press conference discussing his new leadership role at the NRA. I'm very proud to be taking the lead here at the NRA. We need to really buckle down and strap on our best arguments to defend what is our God-given right. Mm-hmm. No more Northern folk trying to take away what is rightfully ours. I will not stand by and let some liberal elitists try to ruin what has made this country great. Mm-hmm. Especially, a different breed. Mm-hmm. When asked to clarify, Porter said, I don't have to clarify. You know gall darn well what I mean. In fact, it's only a matter of time before we can own colored people again. They sure as hell won't be our leaders. It's outright embarrassing. The War of Northern Aggression made it all possible, and you be best to know it's all going to change back. I'll be on the front lines making sure it happens. I don't want my grandkids growing up taking orders from a colored man. It's our God-given right to keep them as property and keep them in line. Several at the NRA, including Vice President Wayne LaPierre, have since tried to distance themselves from Porter's remarks. LaPierre said they brought him in over me to try and liven things up, calling me boring and rehearsed. Next time, they better get off just making me president. It is still unknown if the NRA and Porter will write an apology and retraction to his comments. Now, this was a story that was posted on freewoodpost.com. And even though this is really fun, it's not exactly true.
Damn.
Freewood Post is a satire site, folks. It's not like a news site. It's like The Onion, okay?
Jackie, I had to report that it wasn't true today. Because Daddy Boo Boo lost his mind when he read it. And I did some snooping around and went to snoops.com and found out that he didn't say, because it just didn't make sense that he had the gall. Now, I know these sons of bitches is crazy.
Yeah.
But
you know that some of them do think that it won't be long before they can own colored folks again.
Yes, some of them, the majority of them are absolutely bonkers, but I didn't think they were crazy enough to say some shit like that.
Yeah, well, you remember when we were talking about it last night.
Yeah.
What did I say to you? We need another source.
Yeah, we need another source. And the only reason that I copied it was because Dr. Marshall sent it to me. Okay. And I immediately sent them an email letting them know that it wasn't true, because I didn't know what the Freewood Press was. I'd never heard of it. I thought it was some small newspaper, just like the small TV show, TV news, local TV news that got Todd Aiken into so much trouble. You know, that was a small town local TV station that he gave his big talking extravaganza on on women in that horrible situation of rape. And so I just wanted to make sure that, but right there on the top of the Freewood website, they say could be true or not.
Well, you know, it would be nice if Fox News would do that, wouldn't it?
Okay, but
if it was just start the stuff out, well, it could be true, but maybe not.
Yeah, but Jackie said, I know you're disappointed, I'll be that it's not true, but we're going to talk about that shit anyway. And so we did. And I was going to say, Tony, you stop calling here. You know I'm on the air. But I couldn't say that because Jackie was reading the story. And so I immediately hit him up on Facebook and said, I'm on the air. And what he said, I'll be there in a minute. Welcome to the chat room. Love Muffin, DJ Tony Sanchez, and David Capers, a.k.a. My Daddy Boo Boo, waiting in the wings with that wild train ride called the Razor Blade Express coming up at 7 o'clock. And then coming up 3 hours after that, DJ Tony Sanchez, baby. And y'all, he gonna do it to you in your ear hole. Now, now I ain't bragging or nothing. I'm just saying. So let me just play you just 30 seconds of my favorite DJ Tony Sanchez song. Well, okay, this is one of my favorite. This is one of my top 5 favorites. He got about 5 that I got to hear every night. I don't care who don't like it. But this one of Smokey Robinson, oh my goodness. Oh, don't you love it? Ooh, let's take a look back, baby. That's how DJ Tony Sanchez is going to do it to you. So y'all stick and stay right here at Spreaker.com. Daddy Boo Boo's coming up, and after him, DJ Tony Sanchez gonna ask you to take a love bath, baby. Say it, Smokey. Let's put some water in the tub and do the body rub. Okay, all right, let me stop it, y'all, because I love that song so much. And the chat room just lit up and went crazy. Okay, y'all, I just had to take a little moment. And also in the chat room, Jackie is the co-host of the co-host.
No, I don't.
Just slept in again. But coming into the chat room to grace us, that is Jillian, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar in Australia, all the way down under. We love you, baby. We know these hours are crazy, but you are still our co-host to the co-host. And y'all will hear from her now and then. Okay, Jackie, so we coming up to general foolishness. You have some more general foolishness you've found?
Well, Brenda, yes, I have.
Oh, damn it. Why did I ask you that question? Of course you do. Let's go.
Okay. And I know that we are not supposed to be talking about this woman anymore, but sometimes I can't help it.
I can't help it either, Jackie. I bet you $10. I ain't gonna even say it. We are political psychics. You go ahead and read the story. I'm going to say right up front, y'all, that I don't know what Jackie's going to read because she surfs the web at this time to find some of her foolishness. But I'm going to bet all of y'all that y'all go and pay this $10 on your cell phone bill to the Red Cross to help these people in Oklahoma. I'm going to bet she fixing to talk about Sarah Palin.
You got it right.
That's burning, okay? Okay, tell us the story, Jackie, and then I will give all of my listeners the Red Cross link to donate $10 to your cell phone, okay, to help the victims in Oklahoma. Go on ahead on, Jackie. I knew it.
Right. Well, the divine Sarah has weighed in on global warming again.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, she has.
What'd she say, Jackie?
Well, the divine Sarah noticed that, they had a snowstorm recently in Alaska.
Alaska. Okay.
And in May.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, but I did not think that it was unusual for it to snow in Alaska in May because it's Alaska.
It's Alaska, right.
Right. But anyway, the divine Sarah tweeted that global warming, right. I'm sorry, let me get this exact quote because I don't want to mess it up.
That's right, and you don't want to make up nothing on Sarah.
Says, global warming, my gluteus maximus.
The vernacular of the vernacular.
Yes. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder who told her that ass was gluteus.
I was about to say, and Jackie, the folks that read her shit and is talking to her don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's talking to he who is less educated. What you don't like? What do you like to low information voters? That's what Jackie demands that I call them instead of fools.
So the divine Sarah wants us all to know that because it has snowed in Alaska in May, there's no such thing as global warming. There's no such thing as climate change. She doesn't call it climate change. They're on this global warming thing.
I hadn't heard this bullshit, and I didn't know that's what you were going to read.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to tell us about her ass talking about when the president had a White House, a press conference on the lawn of the White House last week.
Oh, yeah, with the British Prime Minister?
Yeah, with the British Prime Minister.
Well, see, she didn't even know that Britain had a Prime Minister.
No, she didn't.
Let's come back.
No, you're right.
The
Queen
didn't. Runs England. Didn't you know that?
Okay. And Steve Smith had told her, no, boo, that ain't it. Okay, so the president had a press conference on the White House lawn last week with the British Prime Minister, and it began to rain.
Mm-hmm.
And the president said, why don't we get a couple of Marines up here with an umbrella for our prime minister? He said, I'm cool. I'm okay. I'm not worried about myself. I got another suit right here in the White House, but I don't know about the prime minister if he brought something with him. So why don't we get a couple of Marines up here to cover him with an umbrella?
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Palin found that absolutely offensive.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackie, she said, Mr. President, most Americans hold their own umbrellas. As you know, our news whores broke loose and found a picture of her when she was running in the 2008 presidential campaign with one of the security or somebody holding an umbrella over her coming off the plane.
And I would also like to remind the divine Sarah that the Prime Minister of Great Britain is not an American. He was our guest. Yeah.
He was our guest.
So don't you treat your guests a little better than you might treat you?
Well,
I'm just asking us all.
Well, we do, Jackie. That's what Mama taught us to do.
Born and raised in Alaska, so who knows what they do in Alaska?
Okay, listen. Mama taught us that when the guests come, you don't eat up everything from the guest. The guest gets the last meat on the plate, and so on and so forth. You give your guests the front seat in the car, and you get in the back. So we were taught all of these little things that just putting an umbrella up for your guest and not letting them get rain on, even if he was a guest preacher at your church,
That's right. That's just polite, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just being polite. And I don't know what put her panties in a knot about that, but baby.
But, that has become her shtick. That is why she is not on Fox News anymore.
I think she got a hard on for the president.
I think so, too.
Because he is fine. Yeah. And, Glenn Rice used to tap that. And I'm thinking that she thinking.
She got jungle fever.
Jungle fever indeed. Very well said, Jackie. Well, Jackie, that's the only thing I can think of, that these little things that the president does sets her ass on fire.
Well, the thing about it is simply this. The only thing that she can talk about is petty things, because the big and important things are beyond her comprehension.
Jackie. Okay, this is where our co-host Jillian Anderson comes in. When she starts to do her Sarah Palin tweeting in the chat room. So Jillian asked the question, is she saying global warming is the result of the emissions from her gluteus maximus? tell
that's
you,
a good one, Jillian.
if all Australians has the sense of humor that Jill has, they have nothing to worry about, Jackie. And I'm looking forward to going down under.
Oh, look.
She just put tears in my eyes.
Jill, that one is great.
It wasn't enough. I thought I kind of made myself giggle as we talked about Glenn Rice and Sarah Palin wanting the president. But, Jackie, that's usually how it is, like a little boy in school that likes a little girl and she doesn't like him. And he starts to pull up ponytails and poke her and crack jokes about her when all the time he wanted her.
Yes.
And that's what Sarah Palin reminds me of.
Yes. Well, just like our girl Orly Tate.
Okay.
That's how she wants. She just wants to be able to look in his eyes.
You have always sworn that Orly Tate's had the hots for the president.
I'm telling you, it's true.
Well, Jackie, she's been mighty quiet lately. She don't got no tweeting account.
Well, I think it's just that the main media people have just begun to ignore her wholesale.
Jill says, surely this is a joke. No one could be as dumb as they make Palin out to be. Surely. No, Jill.
They're not making her out to be anything, Jillian. This is her own stuff.
No, Jill.
If she would shut up, we wouldn't know how dumb she is.
It ain't a joke. She really is that dumb. And she forgets.
She don't make this stuff up.
And she forgets constantly what her ass has done and said as she jumps to criticize the president. Now, she went to the CPAC conference and had herself a day.
Yeah.
As she is nearing anorexia.
Oh, yeah. She does look. She does look.
Yeah, she had a little booty when she ran for the vice presidency. But now she is nearing anorexia. Her head is...
she's really thin and kind of dried out, husk looking.
Yeah, she's starting to look Nicole Richie-like.
Yeah, she's looking real bad.
And so as she nears anorexia, she comes up there with her big gulp Slurpee Coke full of sugar.
Yes.
And took a sip of it and know damn well she ain't drinking that shit and on her way to anorexia. Unless she is... got bulimia or some shit.
Yeah, well, but when you think about how much attention she used to get and how little attention she gets now, I'm sure it grates on her.
Yeah, the mayor of New York or the governor of New York was only trying to suggest, which I don't agree with. I mean, you got to let folks make their own decisions. That's what America's all about. But he's thinking in the way of the load, the medical cost for these fat folks. That's
yes, and also I'd just like to let everybody know kind of where that idea comes from.
Where does it come from, Jackie?
Well, in the area of alcohol and drug abuse, one of the things that has been studied is the amount that people drink in relation to the size of the containers they drink from. And in some communities, they have passed laws where convenience stores and package stores, they can't sell 40s anymore. That a beer or a malt liquor cannot be any larger than 16 ounces or something like that.
Yeah, there was a big to-do about that, as you could only find that in the black neighborhoods.
Correct, yes.
And I agree. They were targeting the drunks and people with drug problems and alcoholic problems.
But the thing about it, the thing about it is simply this. I mean, with alcohol, is that 80% of the alcohol is consumed by 28% of the people who buy it. So that tells you something right there.
Jackie, I live on the east side of Orlando, and on the west side, of course, is the train tracks first, and then you have the Orlando Magic's new arena, because all arenas are in the black neighborhoods. You have the Orlando Magic's arena and so on and so forth. And further on to the west, you got the projects and whatever. And so I live on the east side of Orlando. And one day I was on the west side and I went into an ABC liquor store, which is a huge chain of liquor stores, ABC. and I wanted to buy some red wine.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular red wine or champagne, they didn't even carry it because black people on that side of town don't buy that
Yes.
from them.
I
And
bet you could get some fortified wine, though, couldn't you?
yeah, I could get some Mad Dog 2020. I could get some Brass Monkey. And so I really understand about this 40 thing. And I understand what the governor was saying.
What the mayor was saying.
What the mayor was saying of New York as he was trying to stop them from selling 60. But Mayor, you're not gonna stop that.
Yeah, but exactly.
Because all fat folks and gluttonous folks gonna do is buy 2 or 3.
Yes.
You remember, Jackie, I told you about the TV show where they have My Freaky Addiction or something it's called, comes on TLC. And
wait.
Yes.
Please don't tell that story.
Oh, okay. I won't link that story. Okay, Jackie don't want me to tell the story. I won't tell the story.
Please don't.
But
okay, because I want to get to our Negro, please.
That's right, and we only have 9 minutes left, so I won't burn it up talking about somebody eating 2 dozen of eggs and trying to get fatter.
Oh, she
go
just had to
ahead,
get in
Jackie.
there.
I won't talk about that. And let me just say, as Jillian said that Sarah Palin could not be that dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy Boo Boo said, yeah, she dumb, and she could see Russia from a house.
We forget. That's right.
Yes, we forget.
Gotta remember that. Yeah. Well, anyway, today's Negro Please Award goes to Senator Inhofe of Oklahoma.
Oh, let the monkeys cheer. Okay, Jackie.
Yes, simply because of his stunning, absolutely breathtaking hypocrisy on the issue of disaster aid.
Please tell us what he said.
Well, we talked about it earlier, that he didn't want anybody from Hurricane Sandy to get disaster aid, that he's been voting against disaster aid for people in other states, but when it comes to Oklahoma, they need their money.
Yeah, they need their federal dollars.
In the case of Oklahoma, it's different.
And he'll be trying to give the president head until he takes off and fly to Oklahoma. I bet you he gonna say some nice things about the president now.
Yeah, well, the only thing is that they are really lucky that the president is not as petty as they are.
They are so very lucky, Jackie.
Because the thing about it is, the president, what people don't understand about presidency is that, the presidents do have a lot of power. I think that President Obama does not exercise as much power as he could, quite frankly.
Yeah, he doesn't wield his big stick or his rifle and do what they would do if they were in this position.
He could, of his own volition, make those bastards for him.
Jackie,
he doesn't do that.
Let me say this last comment from Jill before we say goodnight to y'all on the Sarah Palin subject. Oh dear, if Palin gets too much smaller, she won't be able to tote all them rifles. For an Australian, Jill is certainly up on our shit, ain't she, Jackie?
Jill is on a roll today.
She is on a roll, and she knows our shit. So you see, our third co-host, sometimes she calls in, but you can have a ball in the chat room with Jillian. I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
Got the most wonderful sense of humor ever. Now, Jackie, do you have a word of the week for us?
I knew that you were going to ask me about...
Well, if you don't, I have one.
Week. And I was hoping that you were going to say dumbass comment. But that's not what she said.
Well, I thought the dumbass comment came from the Negro Please Award man.
Oh, well, no. Sarah Palin, she gets the dumbass comment this week.
Oh, wow. Well, I thought your word of the week could be a gluteus maximus.
Gluteus maximus. Well, let me just say that the gluteus maximus.
Yeah. That is a cousin to the vernacular of the vernacular. From Sarah Palin.
They are the muscles that comprise your, in honor of Jill, I will say your bum.
Okay. Okay, so Jackie's telling y'all what gluteus maximus is. It is the muscles that comprise your bum.
Your bum, yes.
Okay, and it can help it to stick out or not stick out. I mean, you either got one or you don't.
Yes, I mean, that's one of the things that African Americans are known for.
Well, my muscles in my gluteus
maximi, yes.
The muscles in my gluteus maximi is working overtime because they are helping my butt to serve a drink. I mean, you could put a tray on my ass and put a drink on it and walk right up there and serve it to somebody.
Well, that's one of the reasons you're so popular.
Julia says, LOL, thank you, Jackie. Y'all, you're
too welcome, my love.
You are insane, and we have come to the end of our show. I can't think of a shameless plug that I have. This plug that I have will make you unashamed, make you proud to be a human being as well as an American. I want to ask you all, in lieu of what has happened in Moore, Oklahoma, the count of the dead standing at 24 right now, but expected to rise as high as 90 or more. Please donate to the Red Cross. They're asking you for $10, and you will dial, you will text, I apologize, you will text, open quote, in higher case, Red Cross, close quote, to 90999. Y'all got that? I don't think the quotes matter. Just higher case, Red Cross, okay? All big letters. Text that word to 90999, and they will charge $10 to your cellular phone bill. Now, you got to pay your cell phone bill anyway, so why not throw in $10, okay?
Yeah, and please don't do like Mitt Romney did.
What was that?
Have a fake drive to collect stuff.
Okay, you go buy the food and then pretend like.
Yeah, don't do that. Just, if we all just kick in our $10, it'll be a big help.
Yeah, you go buy the food and pretend like the people donated it, and cause of your greatness and your drive and all that shit. Don't do that.
And then you rent a truck to go down there to get in the way and make all the relief workers mad. So, sending them stuff they don't need. So
yeah,
don't do that.
Don't do that. Okay, y'all, you've been listening to Let's Talk About It. I am the wild and wonderful Brenda White. Always helping me to talk about it and helping to keep you informed is the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. And always keeping you on your toes in the chat room is the co-host to the co-host, Jillian, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. Stick and stay right here at Spreaker.com. Coming up, Daddy Boo Boo is waiting in the wings on the Razor Blade Express. And here's your last reminder of that. We'll see you next Tuesday night. Thank you. Bye-bye, y'all. Y'all be good to one another. Be kind. Say bye-bye, Jackie.
Bye-bye, Jackie.
I always set myself up for that. Here we go, y'all. I'll see you next Tuesday night or at the Razor Blade Express chat room. Okay, bye-bye. Hey, y'all. You are listening to the beginning of Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect. Starting out with Let's Talk About It with the wild and wonderful Brenda White and the uppity and well-read Jacqueline Lambert, a.k.a. Miss Uppity Speaks. And waiting at the Spreaker Depot is David Capers and that wild train ride he's going to take you on called the Razor Blade Express. Oh, honey, you know you got to hold on to your wig and your panties too, because this ride is unbelievable. And then waiting in the wings is the Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez, with the smoothest, most relaxing love songs on the net. So stick and stay right here for Spreaker's Tuesday night triple threat in full effect, beginning at 5 until 7 p.m. for Let's Talk About It, the funniest, the craziest, and the most informative political talk show on the net. And then waiting at the depot, get your tickets for David Capers and the Razor Blade Express from 7 until 10 p.m. And waiting in the wings from 10 until 12 midnight, The Love Doctor, DJ Tony Sanchez. He's going to do it to you up and down, round and round, back and forth, side to side, and then straight down the middle of your ear hole. I'll see you in the chat room at Spreaker.com, all times Eastern.
Kiss me, then kiss me up.